Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Learning Canadian English. This is episode 5, and I'm your host, Mike.
And I'm Jen. We are so excited for today's topic because the whole world is buzzing about it. We're talking about the Olympic Games.
That's right. Specifically, we're diving into the Winter Olympics and taking a look at some of the sports and athletes that get Canadians really fired up.
And this is personal for us. We both love winter sports. I mean, you basically live at the hockey rink, Mike.
Guilty as charged. And you, Jen, you're always looking for the next big mountain to snowboard down.
It's the best feeling. So today, we're going to talk about some of our favorite events, Canadian hopes, and some of the vocabulary you might hear during the Olympic broadcasts.
Exactly. So let's start with the big one, the one that captures the entire nation. We have to talk about Olympic hockey.
Of course, it's Canada's game.
It really is. In Canada, when the Olympics are on, the country pretty much shuts down for the gold medal hockey game. The pressure on Team Canada, both the men's and women's teams, is just immense.
Right, it's gold or nothing.
Exactly. Everyone remembers where they were for Sidney Crosby's golden gold in Vancouver in 2010. The entire country erupted. That's a moment that's etched into our national identity.
Oh, absolutely. The golden goal. And our women's team is just as dominant, if not more so. Their rivalry with the American team is legendary. Those games are always nail-biters.
I remember watching the 2014 gold medal game against the USA. We were down 2-0 with less than 4 minutes to go. It was chaos.
Oh, I was on the edge of my seat for that entire third period. And then Marie-Philippe Poulin happened. She's known as Captain Clutch for a reason. She scored the tying goal with less than a minute left, and then the overtime winner. It was unbelievable. And that 2014 game perfectly highlights the legend of Marie-Philippe Poulin, or as everyone calls her, Captain Clutch. She scored the game-tying goal with less than a minute left, and then the overtime winner. She has a reputation for scoring the biggest goals on the biggest stage, an absolute icon.
For sure. A key phrase you'll hear is power play. That's when one team has a player in the penalty box, so the other team has more players on the ice. Another is hat trick, which is when a single player scores 3 goals in one game.
That makes sense. Okay, enough about your sport. Let's talk about mine, snowboarding.
I knew it was coming. The floor is yours, Jen.
Thank you. Snowboarding is one of those sports where Canada consistently produces superstars. We have legends like Mark McMurris, Max Parrott, and Sebastian Touton. They are just incredible innovators in the sport.
And the sport is always evolving. The tricks are getting bigger and more complex every year. We're seeing athletes push the boundaries of what's possible.
They really are. The tricks they do are mind-boggling. What are the main events we should be watching? Okay, so the big ones are slopestyle and big air. In slopestyle, riders go down a course with various obstacles like rails and jumps, performing tricks along the way. Big air is just one massive jump where they launch themselves into the air and perform a single spectacular trick.
Just one jump, no pressure.
Right? You'll hear commentators talk about spins like a cab 180, which means they've spun 3 full rotations. Or they'll talk about grabs, which is how they hold on to the board in the air. The style is just as important as the trick itself.
That's fascinating. And it's pretty similar to freestyle skiing, right? Canada is a powerhouse there too, especially in an event called moguls.
Moguls, yes. That's where they ski down a steep hill covered in bumps or moguls and have to do 2 jumps. Mikael Kingsbury is the undisputed king of that sport. Watching his knees absorb those bumps is just unreal.
It's like his legs are made of springs. Okay, let's shift from the slopes to the ice track. What about the speed demons in bobsled, luge, and skeleton?
The sliding sports. These are so thrilling to watch. Canada has a really strong history here, especially in bobsled.
Totally. We've had incredible pilots like Justin Cripps and Kaylee Humphreys, leading our 2-man and 4-man sleds to medals. The teamwork required in bobsled is amazing, from the initial push start to the way the pilot navigates those high-speed turns.
It is. And then you have skeleton, which is, in my opinion, the craziest sport of them all.
Oh, yeah, going down an ice track head first on what is essentially a tea tray. No thanks.
Exactly. But we've had champions like John Montgomery who won gold and famously chugged a pitcher of beer in celebration, a very Canadian moment.
And then there's luge. It's similar to skeleton, but the athletes go down feet first, lying on their backs. The speeds are just as terrifying, often exceeding 140 kilometers per hour.
It's all about finding the perfect line down the track. They steer with tiny movements of their calves and shoulders. A phrase you'll often hear is pulling a good start, which refers to the initial push-off where the athletes use their hands to gain momentum on the ice. And they also won a silver in the team relay event, which is so exciting to watch. One athlete slides, hits a paddle at the bottom of the track, and that signals the gate to open for the next teammate to go. It's fast-paced, and the timing has to be perfect.
We can't talk about winter sports without mentioning alpine skiing. This is pure adrenaline. You have the speed events like downhill, where skiers are hitting insane speeds, and the technical events like slalom, which is all about precision and quick turns.
Definitely. And Canada has a legendary history in downhill, thanks to the crazy connects of the 1970s and 80s. Guys like Ken Reid and Steve Brodborski were famous for their fearless, go-for-broke style on the most dangerous courses in the world. They really brought Canadian skiing on the map.
They really did. That legacy has been carried on by athletes like Eric Gay, who became a world champion. It's a sport with high risks, but also high rewards. One mistake and your race is over.
And who could forget Chandra Crawford's surprise gold in the sprint event in 2006? Her pure joy at the finish line was so infectious. More recently, Alex Harvey carried the torch for Canadian men's cross-country skiing, winning world championships and being a constant threat on the circuit.
And if cross-country skiing wasn't challenging enough, how about stopping to shoot a rifle? Let's talk about biathlon.
It's such a unique and demanding sport. Athletes ski a loop, then come into the shooting range. They have to shoot 5 targets, and for every target they miss, they have to ski a 150-meter penalty loop. It can completely change the standings of a race in an instant. It's all about finding the perfect line down the track. They steer with tiny movements of their calves and shoulders. A phrase you'll often hear is pulling a good start, which refers to the initial push-off where the athletes use their hands to gain momentum on the ice. And they also won a silver in the team relay event, which is so exciting to watch. One athlete slides, hits a paddle at the bottom of the track, and that signals the gate to open for the next teammate to go. It's fast-paced, and the timing has to be perfect.
A truly iconic moment. Okay, we've covered a lot of ice and snow, but there are so many other sports where Canadians shine. We have to talk about figure skating.
Yes, the artistry, the athleticism, it's beautiful. And Canada has such a legacy. Everyone knows Tessa Virtue and Scott Moore are ice dance champions. They are national treasures.
They set the bar so incredibly high, their chemistry on the ice was just electric. We always have strong contenders in pair skating and ice dance, so that's definitely a sport to keep an eye on.
For sure. And what about a sport that feels uniquely Canadian to a lot of the world? Curling.
The roaring game. It's often called chess on ice. It's all about strategy. You have the skip, who was like the captain, yelling instructions to the sweepers.
Right. You'll hear them yell, "Hurry hard," which means sweep as fast and as hard as you can to make the rock curl less and travel farther. It's surprisingly intense.
It really is. And finally, we can't forget speed skating, both short track and long track. Short track is chaotic and full of crashes, while long track is all about pure power and endurance.
And we have legends like Charles Hamelin in short track, who has competed in so many Olympics. It's amazing to see that kind of longevity and success.
Speaking of endurance, we have to talk about some of the Nordic sports. Let's start with cross-country skiing. This is the ultimate test of stamina.
Absolutely. It's one of the toughest sports out there. You'll hear about 2 different techniques: Classic style is where the skis move back and forth in parallel tracks, and freestyle or skate style, which is faster and looks like ice skating.
Wow, we've covered a ton of ground, from the hockey rink to the bobsled track. The Olympics are such a special time to see athletes who have dedicated their entire lives to a single moment.
It really is. And for Canadians, it's a huge source of national pride. We're a winter nation, and seeing our athletes succeed on the world's biggest stage is just the best feeling.
Couldn't agree more. So to all our listeners, we hope you enjoy the games. Cheer loud, wear your red and white, and appreciate the incredible skill on display.
That's all the time we have for today. Thanks for tuning in to Learning Canadian English.
We'll catch you next time. Goodbye for now.